Welcome to the We Guard Cleveland podcast with me, your host, Casey Howard. In this episode, we're going to go over a variety of roster moves that happened yesterday. I had two videos that I was supposed to post today, but those are going to have to wait because of these new moves. So, let's get this video started. So, the first things first is the Cleveland Guardians DFA'd Mike Zunino. That's the biggest move of the day. So, positives and negatives to this. I think it was a good move. I think it'll help their team. Because they still have Cam Gallagher and David Fry at catcher. And the problem with Mike Zunino was he was not hitting good or playing good defense. And you got to do more than just be a veteran leader. I mean, it's good that he had that skill, but that wasn't good enough. And then they have Cam Gallagher and David Fry are the catchers on their rosters right now. So there's only one real negative to Zunino being designated for assignment is if a team does not sign him in the next 7 days, the Guardians will owe him his $6 million contract. And they will have to pay him that money unless a team signs him and takes on that contract, which I doubt will happen. The other roster move is Richie Palacios got traded to the St. Louis Cardinals for cash. I don't really think anyone cares about that too much. So you guys are probably like, Bo Naylor is going to get called up, right? Why wasn't he called up? Well, he was supposed to be called up for yesterday's game, but the Guardians had to bring up Touki Toussaint to pitch yesterday because Tristan McKenzie has been having some elbow issues, and they have not put him on IR yet because they're not sure. It just started, but he was scratched from the rotation because he was supposed to start yesterday. So hopefully he'll be fine and they won't have to put him on the injured list and he can start in a couple days. But we don't know that yet. So Bo Naylor was supposed to get called up for yesterday's game, but they had to bring up Touki Toussaint instead because they needed that starter. And then let's go into about Tristan McKenzie's elbow pain. So McKenzie's elbow pain, I think it could be a bigger deal than people think because it's weird that all of a sudden this would happen after he's been out injured for a long time. I just hope it's not a Tommy John. He doesn't need Tommy John surgery because that is a bad elbow injury that could really hurt him in the long run. But I hope he's okay. So now let's talk about Touki Toussaint, who made his first career start last night. In 6 innings, he gave up 4 earned runs, which isn't bad for his first career start. I think he's a great pitcher, and he'll be a great pitcher in the long run. But I think pitchers don't usually do awesome on their first major league start. Especially like Touki did not know he was going to start until 3 hours before the game. So they actually flew him into Arizona, and he was probably very surprised, and wasn't expecting it, and he couldn't prepare for it. He did not know ahead of time at all. So I'll give that to him. He actually pitched good under those circumstances. So those are the roster moves we have to cover today. But now we're going to go over one last thing, and that is what the rotation would look like if McKenzie does get hurt and has to go on IR. So I'm writing this down real quick. The 5 spots. So our number 1 pitcher, our ace pitcher, will be Shane Bieber. And I think if McKenzie is hurt for a while, then they would not trade Shane Bieber. I know there's been rumors about Bieber getting traded, but if McKenzie gets hurt, I do not think they'll trade Bieber. So you got Bieber as your ace, number 1 pitcher. And we're going to say this is without McKenzie. So right now, I would say your number 2 pitcher is probably Aaron Savali. He's been actually doing very good this year ever since he's got off the injured list. Savali is a very good pitcher. It's just he has to stay healthy. Staying healthy is Savali's hardest thing. He was on the IR 4 times in the past year and a half. The third spot in the rotation will go to Logan Allen. He's been pitching great. A lefty in the rotation, good. He's been solid all around. I think he'll be a great pitcher in our rotation for the long run. Our fourth spot in the rotation will go to Tanner Bibby. He had pitched good up until the Padres game, which he really, really struggled in. But I think he's a good spot for that fourth spot in the rotation. And then right behind him, our fifth guy will be Cal Quantrill. When he comes back from IR, he's injured right now. But he should be back in the next couple weeks. Quantrill's been throwing bullpen sessions, so he should be back in the next couple of weeks, I heard. But until then, I would say the fifth spot would be Tuki Toussaint. But in the next couple weeks, it would be Cal Quantrill in a couple of weeks. So that is what our rotation would look like if McKenzie is hurt. And now another question would be, if they trade Shane Bieber and McKenzie's hurt, what would the rotation look like? I'm just going to do this because we're doing a podcast, which is going to be I try to make a little longer, and I thought you guys might be interested in this. Okay, so our number one pitcher, if Bieber and McKenzie are gone, so we really wouldn't have an ace, and so we would think who would be our long-run ace, and I'm going to say Logan Allen. So I think Logan Allen would be our number one pitcher. Then number two, I think, would be Aaron Savali. Number three would be Tanner Bibee. Number four would be Tuki Toussaint. And number five, we'd probably move this guy from the bullpen back to the starting rotation because he did really good in the starting rotation last year. We just sent him down to AAA when we brought up Tuki, and that guy is Cody Morris. So I think we would still have a decent rotation if McKenzie gets hurt or Bieber gets traded. I feel like it will not have much impact on how our team does, since that is not a problem. I think the Guardians are 3 or 4 games back in the division now after that loss to the Diamondbacks 5-1. We're gonna need to win today and tomorrow. So I know this was a shorter podcast. They usually do them 10-15 minutes, but I just wanted to give you guys this quick update. I will be posting more videos in the next few days, so keep an eye out. Please like and subscribe and turn on those notifications for more content. But for now, Casey is out.